It was a typical Friday afternoon at Eastbrook Middle School. The air was filled with excitement as the school bell rang, signaling the end of the day. Daniel, a shy 13-year-old boy with tousled brown hair and glasses, grabbed his backpack and headed for the exit. His friend Mark had invited him to a party that evening, and despite his nerves, Daniel was looking forward to it. He wasn't usually the life of the party, but tonight he was determined to have some fun. The party was being held at Emma's house, a popular girl in school who had invited nearly everyone. It was a mix of boys and girls, with a huge table full of snacks and a makeshift dance floor where the music was blasting. Daniel felt a bit out of place at first, but Mark quickly introduced him to some of the other kids, and he started to feel more comfortable. A little while into the evening, someone suggested they play a classic party game, Truth or Dare. The group gathered in a circle, and the game began. The room was full of laughter, teasing, and daring challenges. Daniel was nervous but excited when his turn finally came. Emma, all right, Daniel, truth or dare? Daniel hesitated for a moment, his mind racing. Daniel, dare, he said, trying to sound confident, though his voice cracked a little. The group went silent for a moment, and then it was Emma who spoke again, her grin widening. Emma, I dare you to dress up like a girl and go out with the girls right now. The room erupted in laughter, and Daniel's face turned red. Daniel, what? He said, his voice almost cracking with embarrassment. He wasn't the kind of kid who'd wear a dress, and the idea of going out in public like that terrified him. But it was a dare, and he couldn't back out now without looking like a chicken. Group, do it, the others chanted, egging him on. Mark, his friend, gave him a thumbs up. Mark, you can totally pull it off, Danny. It'll be hilarious. Daniel reluctantly stood up. Emma and a few of the other girls seemed excited by the idea, and they immediately took charge. They led him upstairs to Emma's room, where a few of them had a small stash of clothes hidden away. There was no turning back now. Okay, first, we need to get you into something that'll work, said Olivia, one of the girls from his science class. She rummaged through a drawer and pulled out a bright pink dress with sparkles. Daniel looked at it with wide eyes. I really don't think I can do this, he said. But the girls weren't listening. They were already handing him the dress, a pair of tights, and even a pair of shoes with a heel. You're doing it, said Emma, pushing him into the bathroom. With a deep breath, Daniel changed into the clothes, feeling both silly and nervous. The dress was a little tight and the heels were uncomfortable, but he had no choice but to make the best of it. When he stepped out of the bathroom, the girls erupted into cheers. Perfect! Now let's get you styled, Emma said, pulling out a hairbrush and some makeup. Daniel stood still, feeling awkward as they worked on him. They brushed his hair, added some light makeup, and even gave him a pair of sparkly earrings. He couldn't believe this was happening, but the girls were so excited that it almost made him feel like it was normal. Finally, after what felt like forever, they were done. Daniel looked at himself in the mirror and barely recognized the girl staring back at him. His hair was styled in soft waves, his cheeks had a hint of blush, and the dress sparkled in the light. He almost felt like a completely different person. You look adorable, Olivia said with a grin. Now, let's go show everyone. The group of girls ushered Daniel downstairs, where the rest of the party was still going on. Everyone turned to look as they entered, and the room fell silent for a moment. Then, the laughter started. Some people were in shock, others were cheering, and a few were even taking pictures. But to his surprise, Daniel didn't feel as embarrassed as he thought he would. The girls made him feel welcome, and even some of the boys seemed impressed by his new look. It was all in good fun, and for the first time, Daniel felt like he was part of the group. After a while, the group decided to take a break and head out for some pizza. Daniel, still dressed as a girl, joined the girls in a car, and they headed to the local pizza place. The staff there didn't bat an eye when they saw Daniel walking in wearing the dress. The whole scene felt strangely freeing. They all sat down at a big table, and the conversation turned to school gossip and funny stories. Daniel laughed along with the others, enjoying the night more than he had expected. By the time they finished their pizza and headed back to Emma's house, Daniel realized something. It wasn't about how he looked or what he wore, but about the fun and the memories that came with the experience. As the night wound down and he finally changed back into his regular clothes, Daniel couldn't help but smile. He'd stepped out of his comfort zone, and it turned out to be one of the most memorable nights of his life. It wasn't just the dress or the dare that made it special. It was the friendships and laughter that made it unforgettable. And as he left the party that night, he felt a little more confident, a little braver, and a lot more ready for whatever came next.